Hey, it's Teresa with my Lice Advice, and today we're talking about lice bites and rashes that lice can create. So if you're finding little things that look like bites or rashes and you want to know, is this head lice? That's what we're going to figure out today. Before getting started, just so you know who I am, my name's Teresa with myliceadvice.com, and I'm a registered nurse and I actually specialize in head lice. So if in this video you discover lice, don't freak out. Just go to myliceadvice.com. I have step-by-step videos. I'll walk you through how to get rid of it. Okay, that's enough about me. Let's talk about lice bites. To get started, there are 3 different kinds of lice. The very most common type is head lice, and that's the kind we're going to talk about a lot today. Head lice bites, as opposed to body lice. Body lice is extremely rare and uncommon. If you're finding rashes all over your body, not near your head, then that's more likely something like bed bugs. Body lice is almost extinct. We're not going to talk about that today. The third kind of lice is called pubic lice or crabs. Pretty easy to know if we're talking about that kind of lice because you're going to have those lice bites and symptoms in the pubic area. And since I am an expert in head lice, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Do lice bite? Absolutely, lice bite. Head lice actually feed on the scalp. They live on human blood. And each time they feed on your blood, they actually put a tiny amount of saliva into your scalp. A lot of people will develop an allergic reaction to that lice saliva. And this looks like small little red bug bites or rashes. So what you're seeing is something that looks like little bites. What it is an allergic reaction to the lice saliva from all the lice bites. So all these pictures are going to be that allergic reaction to lice bites. Okay, now let's talk about the most common places you're going to see these lice bites and rashes. Number 1, lice bites on the back of the neck. For a lot of people, one of the first signs that shows up for them, even before their head itches or anything, is that they're going to see these little lice bite looking things on the nape of the neck. These can itch or not itch. This looks like little lice bites, but remember, it's an allergic reaction to lice saliva. Number 2, lice bites behind the ears. The second most common place for you to find lice bite looking things is right here behind the ears. Sometimes this will extend all the way down to the neck as well. Number 3, lice bites on the scalp. Some people will develop several cyst-like bumps on their scalp, very similar to acne on the scalp. And it's unclear whether or not these bumps are actually swollen where the lice have fed, or if, again, it's just this overall allergic reaction to lice saliva. But some people do get these kind of bumps all over their scalp when they have lice. Number 4, a lice rash on the neck. So we talked about something that looks like lice bites. That's pretty common. But the other thing that's very common is to have this kind of blotchy, painless rash right at the nape of the neck. Then the rash usually spreads just below the hairline. Number 5, a lice rash behind the ears. Again, common for these rash looking things as opposed to something that looks like bites. Either way, it's an allergic reaction to lice. So you might see these blotchy rashes behind the ears as well. Number 6, a lice rash on the entire scalp. So some people get a rash on their entire scalp when they have lice. Number 7, bites or rashes on the shoulders or the upper back. Now this isn't very common. With head lice, it's really rare for rashes to extend beyond the neck. But if somebody has a really allergic reaction to lice saliva, then they can have rashes on their shoulders or their upper back. That doesn't mean that lice are actually biting them in those areas. It just means that they're having a severe allergic reaction. Number 7, sores and scabs on the scalp. Sores and scabs usually aren't a result of the bites themselves. They're usually a result of a lot of scratching that area. In really rare circumstances, bacteria can then get into those scabs, so people can get really nasty scabs on their scalp. Again, this isn't necessarily from the lice bites. It's just the allergic reaction making people itch, them scratching it, and then it getting infected. Number 8, weeping of the scalp. So in severe cases, clear or pink fluid, it's called serous fluid, can actually drain off of the scalp. I've seen this happen multiple times with people that have lice really bad. They've had it for a long time. In this case, it's usually because they're fighting off bacteria that's kind of gotten into the scalp, and your scalp's trying to heal itself. What do I do if I'm finding these kinds of rashes? The first thing to do is not assume that it's head lice because you have these rashes. What you want to do is check for lice. And there's a very specific way to check for lice. The first thing to know is that head lice bugs themselves are masters of disguise. And if you're early on in head lice, it's really hard to find these bugs. So for example, in this picture, do you see the lice bug? Here it is right here. Do you see how it blends in so well with the hair? I mean, this one is almost like see-through. It's translucent. That's really common for head lice to blend in for you not to see them. So when you're looking for lice, you're actually looking for lice eggs. And these are little eggs that the lice bugs glue into the hair. And so if you are finding these rashes, I recommend that you do a really thorough check for head lice, looking for these lice eggs. And I show you exactly how to do that in a video tutorial of mine called How to Check for Lice. And you can find that on my website, myliceadvice.com. I will also put a link in the description below. How do I treat lice bites? Because lice bites are really just an allergic reaction to lice saliva, the only way to get rid of these lice bites, to make them stop itching and to actually make them go away, is to get rid of lice. So as long as you have head lice, you're going to have these lice bites. People will put, cortisone cream and all sorts of stuff on there, but that's never going to take care of the problem because you have to get rid of lice in order to get rid of the allergic reaction, which is why on my website, myliceadvice.com, I have a step-by-step video system which walks you through exactly how to get rid of lice. So if you want to know how to check for head lice, go to my free video tutorial that's called How to Check for Lice. You can find a link in the description below. And if you do have lice and you'd like some help, then head over to myliceadvice.com. There's loads of free resources there, including a free house cleaning checklist specific to head lice. So that's it for today. Be sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have a comment, feel free to leave a comment. And if you have discovered lice, then head over there and check out that step-by-step video system. I'll see you there.